Today, we dive into the intriguing and controversial practice of polygamy in Africa and the Middle East. Polygamy, the act of marrying multiple spouses, is a centuries-old tradition that continues to thrive in certain cultures, despite modern debates over its morality, legality, and societal impacts. Why does polygamy persist? What are its cultural roots, and how does it shape the lives of those involved? Buckle up as we explore the multifaceted world of polygamy, unraveling its religious, economic, and social dimensions. Polygamy isn't unique to Africa and the Middle East. It has existed throughout history across various civilizations. From ancient China to early Mormon communities in the United States, polygamy has served diverse purposes, from consolidating power to ensuring the continuation of family lines. In Africa and the Middle East, however, polygamy is deeply intertwined with religious and cultural practices. In Islamic societies, polygamy is explicitly addressed in the Quran, which permits a man to marry up to 4 wives under specific conditions. Meanwhile, in many African cultures, polygamy predates Islam and Christianity, rooted in traditions that emphasize family expansion, wealth, and social alliances. In Islam, polygamy is viewed as a practical solution to certain societal challenges. For instance, after wars that left many women widowed and children orphaned, polygamy was seen as a way to provide protection and stability. However, Islam sets strict guidelines. A man must treat all his wives equally, both emotionally and materially. This rule, while noble in theory, often proves difficult in practice. It's worth noting that not all Muslims practice polygamy. In fact, many Muslim-majority countries like Tunisia and Turkey have outlawed it altogether. Others, such as Saudi Arabia and Nigeria, permit it, but with restrictions. The practice is often a subject of heated debate, with critics arguing that it perpetuates gender inequality, while proponents defend it as a personal and religious choice. In many African societies, polygamy has traditionally been a symbol of wealth and status. A man's ability to support multiple wives and their children reflects his economic power. In rural areas, polygamy is also seen as a practical arrangement. More wives mean more hands to work the land and contribute to the family's prosperity. For women, the picture is more complex. While some view polygamy as a means of social security and companionship, others experience it as a source of competition and conflict. For example, in countries like South Africa and Kenya, co-wife rivalry is a well-documented phenomenon, where wives vie for their husband's attention and resources. Despite this, many women support polygamy because it aligns with their cultural values and provides a stable family structure. As Africa and the Middle East become more urbanized and influenced by Western ideals, polygamy faces increasing scrutiny. Feminist movements and human rights organizations often criticize the practice for perpetuating patriarchal norms and limiting women's autonomy. In some countries, laws have been enacted to regulate or even ban polygamy. For instance, in Tunisia, polygamy has been outlawed since 1956 under the Code of Personal Status. In contrast, countries like Nigeria and Sudan maintain legal frameworks that accommodate polygamous unions, often blending traditional, religious, and civil laws. Yet, polygamy persists, often operating in the gray areas of the law. In urban centers, it has even taken on a modern twist. Affluent men engage in polygamy as a lifestyle choice, flaunting their multiple marriages on social media. This trend has sparked both fascination and outrage, highlighting the growing divide between traditional and contemporary views on marriage. One of the key reasons polygamy endures is its economic practicality in certain contexts. In rural African communities, large families are considered an asset. Multiple wives can share the workload, raising children, managing households, and contributing to agricultural production. In the Middle East, the picture is slightly different. wealthy men often engage in polygamy to demonstrate their financial prowess. However, this can create social tensions, as poorer men struggle to compete in the marriage market. In some Gulf countries, government programs have been introduced to assist men who cannot afford marriage, aiming to balance the societal impacts of polygamy. Polygamy's impact on women varies widely. For some, it offers economic security and a sense of belonging within a larger family network. For instance, in certain African communities, co-wives often develop strong bonds, supporting each other in raising children and managing household responsibilities. However, not all experiences are positive. Jealousy, favoritism, and unequal treatment can create tension and emotional distress. In some cases, women are pressured into polygamous marriages due to cultural expectations or financial dependence. Interestingly, some women actively choose polygamy for personal reasons. For example, a woman may prefer the shared responsibilities of a polygamous household over the demands of a monogamous marriage. In urban settings, where career aspirations clash with traditional roles, polygamy can offer a compromise that satisfies both personal and societal expectations. Polygamy isn't confined to rural villages or religious conservatives. It also exists among high-profile figures. In Nigeria, billionaire businessman Ned Nwoko made headlines for his polygamous lifestyle, marrying younger women and defending the practice as part of his cultural heritage. In the Middle East, wealthy sheikhs often have multiple wives, maintaining their marriages in accordance with Islamic law. These stories are often glamorized in the media, painting polygamy as a symbol of wealth and privilege. Yet, beneath the surface, these relationships face the same challenges as any polygamous union: balancing time, resources, and emotional connections. Critics argue that polygamy inherently reinforces gender inequality, as it's almost always practiced by men. Women in polygamous marriages often have limited agency, with their roles defined by cultural and religious norms. However, some proponents counter that polygamy can empower women by providing them with a supportive community and financial stability. Interestingly, a rare form of polygamy known as polyandry exists in some cultures, where a woman marries multiple men. This practice is found in certain Himalayan communities, where scarce resources make it practical for brothers to share a wife. While polyandry challenges traditional gender roles, it remains a fringe phenomenon compared to the widespread practice of polygyny. From its religious roots to its modern manifestations, polygamy reflects the diverse ways societies navigate love, family, and power.